Yeah, Kamari, good to see you. Obviously, when you watch Ohio State on film, those quarterbacks and wide receivers just jump out. And we know what happened in the second half against LSU. Just your take on that. Have you guys tightened up? Did you need to tighten up? And how do you feel about that matchup being a big part of it?
Sorry, I didn't hear most of your question. You were glitching. May you repeat that for me, please?
I was glitching. Come on, Garvey, what's going on with this thing? No, obviously, when you look at Ohio State, their quarterback and receivers really jump off the film. They're special. You guys struggled a little bit against LSU on some vertical game, and I just wonder, have you guys tightened up? Did you need to tighten up since the LSU game, and just being a big part of that matchup? How do you feel about it?
Ohio State, they definitely have a lot of great receivers, a great quarterback. We got a lot of respect for them. And I would say, during the LSU game, not trying to backtrack too far, but we did have some lapses during that game in the second half where we just really needed to recenter and refocus, after that win and during this time off and, just get back to the basics of Georgia football.
All right, next we'll go to Nathan Baird. Go ahead, Nathan.
Yeah, just specifically watching film studying for this game, what strikes you about Marvin Harrison Jr. and what he's done so well to be successful?
Really, he's a really good player. I got a lot of respect for him. He's very physical. He's a big, long guy with a pretty big catch radius. So I say and he just seems like he pays attention. He has a lot of attention to detail during the game, and I think that's what makes him a pretty good player.
All right, next question from Brooks Austin.
Yeah, Kamari, Coach Smart talks about you guys living to play the next snap if and when you get beat all the time. I guess as a young player, first-year starter, was there any moment in this season where you had a learning curve as opposed to like how to get over things a lot faster, how to really live the next snap as opposed to maybe dwelling on getting beat on the previous?
I'd say definitely during beginning of the season, you want to make every play, and whenever you can't do that at sometimes, it's kind of hard to try not to harp on it. But with the pace of the game, you have a whole 10 or 11 other guys counting on you, then you got a whole team counting on you to do your job for the next play. So it's a part of the game. You get beat every once in a while, but the main thing is how you respond, and the response is what's most important.
All right, we'll go next to Mark Weiser.
Kamari, I know you're getting ready for the Ohio State receivers. I wanted to ask you about Dominic Lovett from Missouri, Rara Thomas from Mississippi State that are coming to Georgia as transfers. Do you remember going up against them and watching them on film? What do they bring individually from what you remember?
Both of those guys are pretty good players, both explosive, with big catch radiuses. So, they'll be pretty good additions to our team next year. But, right now, focus on what's important now.
All right, we'll go next to Connor Riley.
Hey, Kamari, just wanted to ask you about Malachi Starks and how you've seen him improve over the course of the season. Obviously makes the big play in that first game against Oregon, but obviously a lot more comes at playing safety than just intercepting passes.
I say Malachi, he just gets better every week. He's a young guy, but he's very talented, and he's like a sponge. He wants to soak up all the nuggets, everything that he can learn to become a better player. And I say that each week he tries to get better. You can see it on the field. You can see it at practice in the film room as well.
All right, we'll take our next question from Dan Hope.
Hey, Kamari, when you guys are preparing for Ohio State offense, do they remind you of anybody you've played during the regular season, or are they very different from teams you've played so far?
I'd say, they're pretty unique in themselves. They do a lot of things that are different, and they're very good at what they do. They got a very dynamic quarterback and really good guys outside and in the backfield as well. So, they're pretty unique, with what they do and how well they do it.
All right, next question from Mike Griffith.
Yeah, Kamari, Kirby's got a pretty strong record when he's got more than 1 week to prepare. Can you talk about what you guys do with that extra time and just how dialed in you're able to get when you've got that extra time versus maybe from 1 week to the next?
It's pretty much like I said earlier. We like to recenter and refocus. Focus on Georgia football at first, and fix the things that we need to fix as a team, and then we have a really good coaching staff and players who are ready, you know, to buy in. And after that, you know, we go into our game plan and, you know, we dissect what we need to dissect and attack, you know, whatever we need to attack.
All right, we'll take our final question from Jordan Hill. Go ahead, Jordan.
Yeah, Kamari, you mentioned the sort of the refocusing and recentering. What have these last few weeks been like for you guys in the secondary coming off of that LSU game?
In the secondary, we've just been, you know, harping on technique and working on our base coverages, you know, working on, you know, day one things and, you know, just mainly technique and, you know, gaining, you know, more confidence and stuff like that.
All right, Kamari, thank